Hi, my name is Jeremy, your dedicated F5 account manager. Now, I've had a few calls with your teams and was invited to come in today to discuss your bot defense strategy and how F5 might be an option. Before we get into that conversation, though, I did want to ask, were there any other questions that you might have for us to answer during our time together? Okay, great, thanks. Typically, I'll start with a quick 10-minute whiteboard giving a high-level overview and then take the remaining time we have to get a better understanding of how we might be a fit. Also, I did have this meeting on my calendar for an hour. Is that still good? Great, thanks so much. Now, as you know, F5's architecture has always been based off of being a full proxy. Now, a full proxy is really something that sits in between the clients over here and the applications that are in your infrastructure. And today we're going to be talking about your web applications. So I'll just draw a few of them. Now, being a full proxy and the placement of this solution within our client's infrastructure, it's really given us a strategic advantage to build upon so much more than just what the market has known us as, which is enterprise-based load balancing. And one of them is something that we'll talk about today, specifically our bot defense strategy coming out of our web application firewall. Now, doing business in the digital age has completely transformed how humans interact with technology. We're always looking to improve tasks, so we've entered into the world of automation. Now, automation happens when people create simple pieces of software to do menial tasks, such as data entry or collecting data reporting from applications, to more advanced things like what we see from our digital assistants like Siri and Alexa. We know them as good bots, and I'm just going to create a bot right here. Great, we know them as good bots. Now, in fact, I was actually reading an article the other day in Forbes talking about the first bot billionaire, which talks about the CEO of a company called UiPath, which is a bot manufacturing company that has a market valuation of $7 billion. So from the good side of bots, there are really three different types that you will interact with that improve our overall user experience. One is something that we interact with quite often, and they're called chatbots. Now, they're designed to carry on conversations with humans, a lot of them just for fun, but there have been some that have been integrated into professional type applications. I've had a few bot-based conversations lately, and they're very interesting and interactive. The second is called a crawler. Now, crawlers are bots that run continuously in the background, primarily fetching data from other APIs or websites, and are well behaved in the respect that they follow the directives that you give to them. Crawlers are used to do things like monitor and alert on website uptimes or tell you about e-commerce price changes on websites. The third is the most advanced, and it is called a Taskbot. Now, Taskbots, they act as agents on our behalf to accomplish a specific transaction and move data from one platform to another. They're increasingly incorporating chat functions to improve user experience. As an example, I actually called a technician from my service provider to come to my house, and the call happened through a Taskbot leveraging Facebook Messenger as a vehicle to have that conversation. So think also about Siri or Alexa informing you of the weather upon request or even purchasing a product for you. Now, the use of automation has given us a statistic that I'd like to share, and that statistic is that 50% of the world's internet traffic is non-human. Now, as the digital world has become more efficient and beneficial for us, it has also become extremely beneficial for bad actors to use bad bots, or what we call botnets. Bots have become the go-to for cyber criminals, negatively impacting consumers and businesses alike. Bots are actively targeting web applications like the ones you have because that's really where you get a lot of your data and where a lot of your data resides. A couple of examples of bot-based attacks. Number one was a brute force botnet, and I put a B there. I meant to put Mirai, the botnet Mirai, which took down the entire United States Eastern Seaboard's internet connection in 2016. That was a brute force-based botnet. The second is something that we call resource hoarding bots, and I'll just put resource up here. Resource hoarding attacks like to online ticket vendors, contributing to an $8.5 billion market for ticket scalpers, or for those that buy tickets through these resource hoarding bots and then sell them for a maximum profit. Number three, the impact to business intelligence data. I'm sure that organizations just like yours make a ton of decisions based off of the intelligence data they're receiving. But what we have seen at F5 is that these bad bots are putting so much traffic into web application where organizations pull business intelligence data that it's diluting and skewing that accuracy of their BI. Lastly, the additional cloud consumption costs, and I'm going to have this bot make a journey to your web application. The additional cloud consumption cost due to bot traffic is creating an immense financial burden on businesses just like yours. So we have clients budgeting a specific dollar amount for cloud consumption, and that is being overspent by a large amount due to the infiltration of these bad bots. So some percentages that I would like to share with you now. For every one good bot, there are 2 bad bots, or roughly a third of the world's internet traffic is comprised of malicious RPA, or what we're calling robotic process automation. A third of the world's internet traffic is bad bots. The second percentage is that nearly 80% of all web attacks start here with bad bots. So some of the challenges and questions that our clients in the market have come to F5 to help solve. Let me list those out right now. Number one, how can we tell what's human or what's bot? And if it is a bad bot and we have never seen it before, how can we also protect against what I will call zero-day attacks? Number two, when we do distinguish what's good and what's bad, how do we give access to the bots that are essential for our business and then deny or reject access to those bad bots that are coming in? Number three, with that bot traffic affecting our cloud consumption costs, how can we mitigate that and reduce the amount of costs that we have going out to the cloud? Number four, how do we reduce the negative impact that bad bots have made to our business intelligence? And then lastly, and something that we didn't talk about, how do we protect both our web applications and then those applications that are being accessed over smartphones, over the Google and iOS or Apple marketplace? This is where F5's bot defense comes in, and it is a feature function of our Advanced Web Application Firewall. So first, F5 is able to grant entry to those good bots that's going to come in to our software, and we will be able to distinguish if it's human or not, and then if it is a good bot, we'll be able to give it access to that web application. If it isn't a good bot and it comes in, because of our machine learning to your web application, this allows our solution to continually learn what good traffic is specifically to your web application denying or rejecting access to that web app, distinguishing what it is, and preventing zero-day based attacks. Now, the denial of bad traffic also means reduced cloud consumptions for our clients and then increased accuracy of that BI data, giving your business the ability to make wiser moves with your reporting and your finance. And lastly, we are able to fuse via SDK to your mobile application, giving your app even greater level of protection. So far, this has been about F5 and how we do bot defense. What I'd like to do now is spend the remainder of our time discussing your organization's business challenges around web and mobile application security. Now, I'd like to hear if any of the things that I've highlighted set off any alarms, and I'd also like to better understand your strategy around keeping web apps secure.